What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. Now, it's been how many weeks now? It's been weeks and weeks and weeks I've been talking about hitting the Ancient Power grind again. Now, there's lots of reasons why I shouldn't do it and I should wait. There's also lots of reasons why I should do it. Let me just go through kind of what's going through my head here. Now, first off, we know changes are coming to Ancient Power. Changes may just end up coming that make doing Ancient Power resets much easier. Now, on that note, there's also something to be said about having them already done. So, getting them done now is not necessarily a terrible idea, and I'll be able to reap the rewards immediately when the update hits of the new and improved Ancient Power. Now, in this update coming up, there could potentially be something different with crafting materials. The crafting material costs could end up going way down, which, God, I really hope they do. Now, if this is the case, I'm going to be in really good shape because in the current state of doing Ancient Power resets, one of the most effective ways to do it, of course, is to split screen on a console or run 2 instances on PC. Now, I do have an alt account that is completely geared up and ready to go. Actually has Mass Destruction and Vicious even. It's got the first 2 Hyper Shards. So I've got this account that's completely ready to go, and it's capable of running floors 50 to 80. Now, of course, as you do more and more Ancient Power resets, your minimum floor goes up, but your goal floor or target floor goes up as well. Now, this stops at floor 50 to 80. The highest it will ever go is restarting you at floor 50 and you having to go back to floor 80 to reset. Now, it doesn't take a whole bunch of fancy gear to get to floor 80. All it takes really is knowing the mechanics of Onslaught, which I do already know. So by going through and doing a bunch of resets, I am going to just gather an absolute ton of gear. I'll get tons and tons and tons of the Chaos 7 crafting materials. In fact, far more than I could probably ever use if I reset a bunch of times. Now, at a minimum, my goal would be to go to 70 resets. However, greed and getting that additional 5% golden XP bonus will probably encourage me to push past that point. However, as it stands right now, there's 70 Ancient Power points. So if you go past 70, you're no longer gaining an Ancient Power point for any resets. Now, on that same note, there was a time when that number was 50, and it's gone up to 70 now. So I could potentially go past and future-proof any more additions or changes to the Ancient Power system with the number of points. So basically, long story short, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm not going to just sit here and chicken out stream after stream after stream after stream and hit the button. Things that you'll be able to look forward to is, obviously, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of floor 50 to 80. So that 50 to 80 zone, I know that a lot of newer players start having struggles in that area. So there's going to be lots and lots of tutorials of how to get through those particular maps and the most effective ways to push through them. And there's also going to be lots of tutorials of what it looks like to run those maps on a character that's not geared out to the teeth with lots of Chaos 8 stuff and Ancient Power resets, High Ascension. There's going to be lots of runs without using that stuff. And I think that a lot of viewers will definitely appreciate and potentially learn from any of those runs. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to just collect an absolute ton of crafting materials, so I'm not even concerned about the crafting materials at this point. The only thing I'm going to have to come up with is a whole bunch of plain motes when this is all said and done. And to be honest with you, I'm really hoping Trendy does something with that too, because right now the plain mote grind is absolutely intense. Now, this is also going to allow me to have a little bit more fun in the game and not have to use such cookie cutter builds and situations to push up an Onslaught. Floor 50 to 80, of course, brings a nice challenge. However, it's easy enough to do when you understand the base mechanics that I'm going to be able to play around with lots of different defenses and try out different setups as I go through these. Now, I don't plan on power grinding. So don't expect me to be going up to 2 ascension levels or 2 ancient power levels a day. I'm just not going to do it. Now, I'll have days where I am going to grind it out. However, I'm not going to commit to that right now. And one of the biggest reasons I want to do it is if you look at just going through the ancient power progression, it's fun. If you look at it from just the gameplay perspective and nothing else, you've got achievable goals that you can hit on a regular basis every single day. And in my opinion, it's just really fun to do. Now, approaching it with this mindset and not approaching it on a super grinding mindset is going to help me out quite a bit with going through these resets, as I just want to have a good time and play the game. I love Dungeon Defenders 2. I want to be able to experience it. I want to play as often as I can and stream it as often as I can to everybody out there. But like I said, I don't want to feel like I'm being forced to use certain builds or situations. I want to play the game and just enjoy it, have fun, tinker around with all the heroes I can, and just have a blast with it. So if we take a look here at Mr. Mana Node, if I reset now, my minimum ascension level is going to be 3912. Of course, I'm going to have to go from floor 50 to 80. This will be my 43rd Ancient Power reset, so I'll gain 1 more point there. The talent caps, I'm already at the cap, so that number means nothing. And then I'll get an additional 5% gold in XP. So this is going to get up to 215%. Can't wait to see that number much, much higher than it is right now. This 3912 minimum ascension will make things very, very easy, but as I mentioned, I'm going to use an alt for a lot of it. So I'm not planning on dumping any crafting materials or spending any gold at all on this account. Now, with that being said, no more chickening out. I just hit the button. Instant regrets. No, I'm just joking. And there we go. I've got myself a prestigious power staff, and I am now in full campaign gear. Look at me go. So there it is. I finally grew a pair and stopped crying about it and going back and forth, and I finally hit the button. So let the AP reset train begin. And thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all will join me on this journey, and we can have some fun playing around with some ancient power. Thank you all once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.